Lately I've been thinking about rabbit holes. Not that we have rabbits on our property. That's a good thing, really. We have all sorts of other creatures. Our most recent visitor of a mammalian variety was a quite large rat that seemed to be living on our roof. Unfortunately for the rat, it strayed into the dog area, and it was dogs 1, rat 0. I feel a little sad, I did, when I tossed the rat over the wall onto the empty vacant lot next door for the vultures to feed on. But I didn't feel that sad because, rats aren't good news. At any rate, no rabbits, although we do have the occasional rat. That's a rabbit hole. Where did that expression come from, I suppose? Alice in Wonderland, a deep dive into the darkest recesses of your imagination, or thinking spiralling out of control. And now, of course, when we say rabbit hole, what we're really talking about is the internet. But I think it is a popular metaphor because it really does speak to how our minds work when left unchanneled, uncontrolled, unfiltered. My latest little rabbit hole here has been, it's the rainy season, some birds that we have visiting us at this time of the year. In the sort of vacant land next door, there's a build-up of water, and migrating, wading birds feast upon whatever is in that water. Little frogs and insects and small fishes, whatever. And one of the birds that is quite common here has a bird call that is kind of like a staccato chattering sound. And one day it struck me, and this did me no favours the moment the thought entered my mind, that it sounded just like the introductory monkey chattering sound at the beginning of the Joe Rogan Experience podcast. And that's not good. I mean, not that I've got anything particular against the Joe Rogan podcast. I think it's very, very interesting, very eclectic. I like the ones where he's talking to deep thinkers, especially when he, has encounters with physicists of note. I do think sometimes he might have been smoking things he shouldn't have been just before the conversation. And it's interesting, a world-famous cosmologist or quantum physicist talking to someone who's absolutely out of his mind. Two kinds of out of their minds colliding. Very, very interesting. I have some more difficulties, I suppose, with Joe because he's an MMA guy, and I think the mixed martial arts are a scourge, really. They're a symptom of things that have gone wrong with our world. Now, I'm not saying martial arts in and of themselves are bad. Quite the contrary. I'm really drawn to the book Mastery by George Leonard, who was a fourth Dan Aikido practitioner. So martial arts, I think, are a very interesting way of training the mind, actually. And I don't think martial arts are, the arts part of it is misplaced. But the mixed martial arts are a different matter altogether. They're about unmitigated violence. And we are drawn to them rather like we're drawn to car crashes. My late friend Mike, he was a sort of reasonably skilled martial artist, and also very interested in capoeira, which I think is an amazing thing. Not something that I'm particularly interested in ever doing, but it is an incredible sort of blend of martial arts and dance. Fascinating. And so Mike, occasionally when we'd be talking about this, would talk about the skill required. But, and I don't doubt that for a second, that these guys are incredibly skillful. But that's not what it's all about. What it's all about is violence and savagery, and about money. And consequently, when we start hiding what something's really all about with language, dressing it up in a way to disguise what we're really talking about, well, I don't think that's a good thing. And I think the popularity of ultimate fighting has everything to do with a lot of very warped ideas. I'm not saying you're a bad person if you enjoy it. It is captivating, as I say, like a car crash. Accidents are captivating, but do we need more of that? Is that the path out of the forest, or are those the breadcrumbs luring us into a deep, dark place? I'm not sure. The point is, though, when these birds, and let me get back to where this all started, when these birds make this strange chattering bird call, and I find myself thinking about the Joe Rogan experience and something that I might have seen on that, instead of focusing on my sculpture, I realize how far I have to go in controlling my own thought processes. I am, like everybody, a work in progress. And I am, like most of us, at the very beginning of an extremely long journey. And it will require courage, fortitude, grit, determination, all those sort of things to stay on that path. Because the siren calls of distraction, the gentle nudges onto the slippery slopes, they are all around us. And when we think we've got it under control, there's some incredibly interesting bird that somehow makes me think entirely in the wrong way. So that's it. A bizarre look at how my mind spirals out of control. You probably didn't need that, but perhaps I needed to get it off my chest. Share it. A problem shared, as they say, is a problem doubled. Anyway, that's it for this week. Back to sculpture. The birds are quiet, just the turtle doves cooing. So I think I'll end there.